Welcome back to Inside Workforce Development. I'm Melinda Kelsey. Today's show is being sponsored by Lee Company. We're excited to have Bill Lee and Stuart Price from Lee Company joining us on the show today, and so excited about what you're doing in addressing workforce needs. We hear, as we travel across the state within the Department of Labor and Workforce Development, we hear a lot about soft skills and communication skills and how to apply that into the workforce. And I know that you're addressing that within Lee Company University, but I think that's instilled in your workforce as well. Is that?
Oh, it absolutely is. As a matter of fact, that's an interesting lead-in. We are on the cusp of achieving Federal Department of Education accreditation in organizational leadership. And we're also about to receive recognition from Lipscomb University as well in organizational leadership. And Lee Company University, just as an understanding, is an accredited university through a NCCER, which is a trade accreditation authority. And there's a couple of things I'd like to share, if I can,
Sure,
about Lee Company University. And as I was thinking about this opportunity, just a couple of people came to mind, and one was a fellow named Paul Bennett who works for us. He's been with us for 15 years. He was in our first graduating class in 2010, in May of 2010. And Paul has gone from a student in Lee Company University to now, for the past 3 years, he's been teaching at Lee Company University. And that's a category of people, by the way, that we want to recognize. Are the people who are investing their time in feeding back into the younger generation and teaching them. And we have I don't know, 30 or 40 who are dedicating their extra time and effort in doing that. Another person that comes to mind is a fellow named Robert Dwayne Drake, and he's only been with us for a little over a year. And he came to us with a lot of needs. He didn't have a permanent home when he came to Lee Company. The school system had failed him in a lot of ways, and his reading skills were lacking. And he came to Lee Company, and we took him into Lee Company University. He's graduated his first year as HVAC mechanic. His first year of course. He's got an apartment, he's got a car, and he's just doing wonderfully and a great productive contributor at Lee Company. And so just two different ends of the spectrum, but two areas and ways that Lee Company University fulfills needs for people. So
you are also doing a couple of things other than, in addition to this, and that's reaching down into the high school. I think you all are, and I applaud that. That's commendable, because we hear that again as we travel. And again, the non-traditional route, or it may lead, as you just gave a great example, into furthering your education. And tell me about how you interacted with some of the schools. I think you're in 12 here in Tennessee. Is that correct? Or are you in Alabama or the other states, just here in Tennessee?
Yeah, and part of it is just an interest, and by the way, the schools are very receptive to it. They recognize that, that the state leadership understands that Tennessee is leading the country in workforce development. We are, and we're proud of that. And the schools are coming alongside and picking up on that momentum. And so they've been very open about having us come in and talk to them and lead sessions with the students around developing these skills and making the students aware that, look, this is an option for you, and it's a great way. There's nobility in plumbing and electricians and welding and HVAC mechanics and technicians. And there's a whole world of opportunity out there for them that the schools are bringing us in to make them aware of that. And so it's a benefit for the students, it's a benefit for the state of Tennessee, and it's certainly a benefit for our industry as well.
Yeah. Are you seeing people, Bill, are you all seeing people come into the system through the high schools and interested in transitioning into Lee Company or into the construction or the HVAC or the plumbing and in the skilled trade industry, which is high demand occupations in the state of Tennessee?
Yeah, we are seeing people come in. There is a huge need, however, and I do think that it's relatively, it's not new, but the ramp up of communicating to students and the recognition that is something that's really worth considering. That ramp up is relatively new, so we haven't seen the numbers yet, but we do expect that to follow the efforts.
I think what you're doing by an example and taking, again, non-traditional, there's nothing wrong with that, because when my HVAC goes out, I want to make sure that I can get someone on the phone, get them there, and have it fixed correct and within a reasonable amount of time and amount of money, and you all certainly provide that. But you're also investing in our youth, and so there's a lot of interest in that now, and particularly those, again, that do not want to go on and further their education. We certainly can provide that in any and all, and they may come and say, I want to continue to do that. But
or even though that those that do want to further their education, but just in a different way. I actually mentor a young man from the inner city that I met years ago through the YMCA program, and he's kind of become part of the family now, but he is 16 and he's starting to think through what he's going to do, and he's currently in a charter school. There's a focus for a 4-year degree at pursuit after high school. But he and I have also talked about the different ways that he can go once he graduates from high school. And really, it's not about necessarily going to college as it is about post-secondary preparation for a skill that is marketable. And what does that look like? And that is, you can call it non-traditional, but it's really just one of separate paths to pursue. That it's really about creating a job and a meaningful way to make a living and to provide for a family and to create a life for yourself that you want. It looks a lot of different ways, and we're really happy for the people that come to Lee Company in whatever route they come, and we really want to help facilitate the advancement of their education and therefore the advancement of their career for themselves and for our company as well. So
I love it. I love it. Hold those thoughts. We'll be right back after these messages.